Now, Akeaka, when you were growing up, did you have any experiences that really impressed you with animals?
As far as animals?
Yeah.
I did. I had a very dear friend of mine who unfortunately passed a few years ago, but he had a police dog, a German Shepherd that he called Crator, and he was an enormous dog. He would rival some small horses, if you will, but he was bigger than most German Shepherds that I've actually ever seen. Just pure muscle, pure just strength and power. He was just a big dog. I never believed that he was a purebred German Shepherd, but he truly was. He was just a nice big German Shepherd, straight muscle. And my friend was also a very big guy. He was, again, straight muscle, and the relationship that they had was unbelievable. The dog Crator, he would be a very mild person, or a very mild dog to other people. Never bark, never jump or anything. He never really took too much of an interest to anyone who didn't seem to give him the attention that, he would want. But him and my friend Tom would get into these almost like a wrestling match with one another. And, Crator would latch on to particular parts of his body, like his arm or his leg or something like that, which would seem to be in a forceful bite. He would get into his position and just shout his name in an aggressive tone, and, Crator would come bolting out of nowhere, just tackle him to the ground and almost bite him. What would seem to me, for a third-party standard, would be almost having to draw blood. But when you look, there wasn't even a mark. They had such trust for one another. It was astounding. He was able to control this dog with such, beautiful symphony with one another. They would wrestle for hours, and stop on command. If something were to happen, he'd say, "All right, enough, Crator." And without even a second hesitation, he would sit, and that'd be it. He wasn't really an attack dog. He's never, I trained him to be like, "Oh, go get that person away," but he was very obedient to the point of where it stood out, because, dogs can be trained to listen to certain commands and, certain responses to the owner and stuff like that, sort of like how Sis here had a relationship with her dog with her horse, and most people don't see that kind of relation. They have a sort of a mutual understanding on how a horse and a rider would have with one another, but with her and her horse, she had such a strong enough bond that she was able to do things that others would find, extraordinary. The thing that stood out to me, I think, that really, really caught my attention was the one day, my friend Tom was a little bit more, down in the gutter, if you will. He wasn't having the best day, and, Crator was looking for a little bit of playtime, and, Tom just kept pushing him off, said, "Not now, bud, not now, bud, no big, just go play, go lay down," stuff like that. And Crator would just not leave him alone. He kept nudging him, he kept giving little nibbles on his legs and his arms and stuff like that, and finally he shouted at him and said, "Go lay down," and Crator literally jumped up on his chest and nipped his nose. And Tom got fed up with it enough and started, wrestling with him. And his dog just, played along and just kept, nipping at certain parts of his body. Nothing that was major or caused, Tom any harm, but just kept, antagonizing him. And afterwards, it was like a perfect pick-me-up. They understood each other so well. They had a, a real bond with each other. It was really his best friend. I've never had a personal relation with an animal where it was that kind of level, but that just experience to watch was just truly astounding. It's not something that you would really hear too many people really say, like, yeah, my dog, he could do this, and this. It's not something that you could really explain, but it's something that you had to see to feel that experience with one another. It was truly amazing, I think.
That's a pretty awesome experience.
Yeah. It was a rough time when that dog got older. Tom knew that he was getting to a point where his joints weren't able to keep up with him because he was so massive at the time. When he got older, he wasn't as active, so he gained a little bit more weight, and then over the years, his joints started failing. He started becoming less active, less social, less interactive, and then when he finally laid down to, pass, he laid down on my friend's bed and laid down and just went right to sleep. And it was a rough day. You could feel like a piece of Tom really went away that day. It's just it wasn't even a lifelong friend, but a friend that was there in ways that not anyone else can really relate to, and the emotion behind it all was truly breathtaking in a way. It's just not something that, you have a passing of certain friends or family or anything like that, you really gets to you, but there's like a piece of him passed away that day. He really wasn't the same ever since. It was a rough time.
Sis, how did it strike you when you lost your end?
Well, how about you there?
Am I here? Okay. Oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, now we can hear you.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Welcome back. Yeah, we're doing it. We're doing a talk show. Did you want to?
I have no idea what happened there. The technical issues this evening is interesting. Are you there?
Yep, now you're there.
Yeah, go ahead.
You asked me a question there?
Yeah, it was beautiful, it was poignant, it was touching, and you were gone. You weren't there.
I missed this beautiful, poignant question that you don't remember what it was.
The whole moment was beautiful.
It was a moment, wasn't it?
It was a beautiful moment. It's gone
and I
now.
missed it all, huh?
It's gone. I think this is where we can honestly say, where we can just have our little intermission here.
Well, I kind of still want to know what the question was that was so poignant and wonderful that I missed.
The world will never know.
Yeah, well, she'll just have to listen to the episode and learn like everybody else.
Thank you so much for being a follower. Feel free to like us and follow us on our channel. This is a really great idea. Just pop out, and it's wonderful that we kind of just come together, and we thank you for listening to us.